Gents, how are we doing? Hope everyone is keeping well. On this video today, I'm going to break into how I got my client, Stephen here, into Adonis shape. That is what we're talking about today. Going to break it down into 3 parts, but of course, it is a significant before and after. This was him back in January, and this is where we finished in and around May. So, massive changes. I'm going to break down how it actually happened. But just before I get into it, story time, how I met Stephen. So back in January, I took a flight over to Marbella by myself, wanting to check out a new place, wanting to just, see what Marbella was all about. And funny enough, the first night I got there, I put up a story, he dropped me a message, and we met the next day. So yeah, basically started there, we got a gym session in, clicked straight away, and yeah, basically I would have seen him for most of the week. Towards the end of the week, I was like, this guy would be perfect for what I'm doing on the Adonis Project. So I asked him to come on board. He was delighted. Had no training structure at the time, so we were able to implement that. But yeah, would have met him in around the week of the 11th of January, and that's where things got going. Yeah, and like I said, you want to come on board, bro? Let's have you. And that is where it all started. So the Adonis Project is all about making men great again, because we're living in a time where masculinity has been shunned upon, and women are outdoing men in all areas. And definitely the balance is a bit, the imbalances are there, should I say, not the balances. Men are just kind of falling through the floor, and we need to gather ourselves, build out our physical bodies, improve our minds, build a brotherhood, develop a network of men that want to go on and succeed and do more in life and achieve so much more as well. So this is what the Adonis Project is all about. It's make men great again. That's the motto that I've got going. And you've probably heard this quote before many times, but hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. So we're living in this bracket here where weak men are creating hard times. Testosterone's falling through the floor. Men, the majority of men in society are just are getting left behind, and it is their own doing at the same time. So we've got to man up and create strong, powerful, confident men, competent men that can bring this world to a better place, because there's no way that men should be letting themselves fall to the wayside and not trying to improve their life, because for a man it's all about self-development. No one is going to do the work for you. You have to be the person that stands up and gets the job done and does what he says he's going to do, and live truthful to his word as well. Very, very important. But with this transformation in particular, it's not any ordinary transformation. This is a complete 360 change from an ordinary guy back in January to an Adonis now, because this is what the Adonis Project is all about, is creating Adonises with a masculine frame, because obviously this is something that Steve now possesses. But we focused on 3 areas in particular, right? And 3 areas that I highlight. So testosterone being number 1, that is your life force. That is everything got to do with it, man. How high your testosterone is it low? Can we improve it? This is something that we focused on. Testosterone number 1, nutrition number 2, and training. They all kind of interlink and cross over. There's no doubt about it. So I will break into it bit by bit. This is Achilles from Troy. What a movie that is. So yeah. So Stephen was able to get into the best shape of his life, but there's no surprise with that, really, because this is what we do on the Adonis Project. This is what it's all about. Right, here we have just a before and after once more. January to May, clearly there's a lot of muscle packed on. And, I often say, look at the eyes. Have a look at the eyes. Half asleep here, wide awake, vitalized, energized here. And this is what it's all about. What we want to do is focus on your hormones. Testosterone's obviously being number 1. So, from the whole experience of Stephen going through the process of the Adonis Project, he raised his testosterone. I'm going to break into how he done it in a second, but having a renewed confidence in himself from how his body looks and feels, his energy output is much better. So this energy that he now has carrying around has rippled into all areas of his life: professional, personal, relationships, even in the gym as well. And like I mentioned, along with his professional life also. So how does this happen? How does it happen, right? So we're having a boost in your testosterone, right? From lifting heavy weights to dialing in your sleep to getting a nutrition that supports and boosts testosterone, such as red meat, eggs, fruit as well. Fruit is very important. I'm a big fan of fruit. All the high vibe foods that exist out there. we just focused on the basics. It's not overcomplicating things. Red meat has got zinc, boron, magnesium, creatine, all essential for testosterone production. Eggs have got cholesterol, which is a precursor to testosterone. So just breaking it down real simple. This is it's so easy and so simplistic, but it's difficult to apply sometimes. But your physique will change for the better when you focus on your hormones. So like I said, we focused on testosterone being number one. So yeah, we also had to boost testosterone by working out. Now, how can we do this? You're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? Of course, there is testosterone boost in exercise. There's no doubt about it. Compound movements. But there's one area in the body in particular that we need to focus on, that we have to focus on, should I say. That is the shoulders, right? So the shoulders are the body part that men should put a lot of attention into when building out the Adonis physique, as they have the greatest impact on your hormones. Believe it or not, right? But this is very true. This is true. This is the truth, should I say. The shoulders, otherwise known as the boulders, in Stephen's case, are loaded with androgen receptors. Now, androgens are a man's sex hormones, right? So you've got the most amount of androgens in your shoulders. So androgens influence masculinity. They're known as sex hormones, like I mentioned just there. And sex hormones such as testosterone and dihydrotestosterone, DHT, are the most prominent in controlling male and masculine characteristics among all androgen hormones. So it is so important to be training your shoulders as a man for the hormonal output, but for that boost in testosterone and developing more masculine features. This is what it's all about, developing your masculinity. We're living in a day and age where masculinity is heading down a path of being non-existent, and that just can't be the case, because you should wake up and understand how it feels to be a man, how to be competent, how to be confident, and take control of your life, right? So androgens work their magic by activating their receptors. So in your shoulders, you've got the most amount of androgen receptors. And as I mentioned, the most amount of androgen receptors in a male's body are found in the shoulder. So if you want to increase the muscle and tissue of your body, have a separate day for training the shoulders alone. That is a must. You've got to train them alone. But look, what happens when we focus on the shoulders as well as the pull-ups is something I'm big on. And when your testosterone is boosted, what happens to your posture? What happens to how you hold yourself, how you present yourself to the world, right? So as a man, the hormone and neurotransmitters that you experience in your body affect how you hold yourself. So how are you feeling? You feeling like a winner? You feeling like a loser, right? This is all got to do with your posture. And your posture is a reflection of your emotional state and how you feel about yourself. So you probably heard from Jordan Peterson, in his book, 12 Rules for Life, he talks about rule 1, which is stand up straight with your shoulders back. And he talks primarily about lobsters and how lobsters present themselves to the other lobsters when they win fights or when they lose fights, right? So very, very important. So how you feel about yourself, when you feel like a winner, you walk around with your head held high. You walk around with this sense of proudness in who you are. Your shoulders are back. You have an essence of proudness, like I mentioned. Getting ahead of myself here. But other people take note of this too. So other people know when you are a winner in life. People notice. They pick up on it. They sense it. And your body language consists of 55% of the communication. So how you approach someone, how you walk into a room, how you greet someone, how you meet someone, is all presented in how you present yourself and how you hold yourself. Are you confident? Are you not confident? Do you feel like a winner? Do you not? This is very, very important. But you start to see the evidence why getting into peak physical condition can have a great effect on your psychology and how you view yourself in the world. And how do you believe Stephen now views himself in the world after getting into this sort of shape? This is the Adonis tier shit. This is the epitome of what the Adonis Project is all about. Stephen has accomplished this, so it's absolutely brilliant. But most importantly, men enjoy masculinity, right? And this is something that we're missing in today's day and age and society. We enjoy masculinity. There's no doubt about it. So it's the pursuit and attainment of developing a masculine physique that a man feels empowered by what he's developed of himself. Now, let me repeat that, right? So men enjoy masculinity. We enjoy the pursuit of building something. So it's in the pursuit and attainment of developing a masculine physique that a man feels empowered by what he has developed of himself, right? So something that Mr. Kenny is experiencing for himself through the Adonis Project. This is what we have accomplished, right? I want to move on, right? Nutrition. We're going to cross over back and forth once again into testosterone, but eating a diet that is conducive to testosterone production. It's very, very important, right? So we want to, get our hormones up. So I'm a big fan of eggs. Who isn't a big fan of eggs? But eggs are a fantastic source of protein. Cholesterol, which I mentioned, is a precursor to testosterone. Vitamin D, which is also very important for testosterone production, and omega-3s. These are all essential, right? All essential, and especially cholesterol and omegas are associated with fat. Fat is necessary for hormone production. It's also necessary for testosterone production. So all of which aid, like I said, in the production of testosterone. So eggs are a very versatile ingredient. Not only do they help increase testosterone levels, the protein in them helps with muscle building too. You know that already. This is just repeated information. But red meat, high in zinc, like I mentioned earlier, an important mineral for testosterone production. Additionally, it contains a good amount of healthy fats, which also help boost your T levels. So, red meat, high in zinc. That's brilliant. It's high in boron as well. Boron is another mineral that is essential for boosting your testosterone. Magnesium, very important too. Like I said, red meat and especially steak, something that Stephen ate a lot of, contains a good amount of healthy fats, which help boost T. It's all about getting your testosterone up. That's the most important thing, right? So we focus more on the minerals needed for testosterone than counting calories, which wasn't as important. But they do have their place, don't get me wrong, but the protein intake was also a priority. So eating foods that provide sharper focus and greater energy output was something we did focus on. So Stephen would have, very set meals. It could be eggs, it could be some, bread from the bakers with some, Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold butter, the greatest butter in the world. And then there could be just Greek yogurt with fruit. And then for dinner, it was all based around potatoes, red meat, and a side of vegetables. And every so often he might have spaghetti bolognese. Every so often he might, have some porridge. He was very disciplined in regards to not eating processed foods, which is something that I just underlined here. Avoid processed foods at all costs because not a good way to be. The golden ratio, look, this is something I apply to all my clients, but you can clearly see that Stephen accomplished it. Just even basing it off here, his shoulder circumference is way wider than what it was before. So we focused on shoulders, like I said, androgen receptors, and also growing out his lats. So pull-ups, weighted pull-ups is something that Stephen achieved at the beginning. Was doing body weight, struggling with that a small bit. We got him up to doing 20 kg in the end, and we're talking 20 kg for 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. So it's a massive accomplishment. So shoulders should be 1.6 times that of your waist. That is the golden ratio. And this is clearly exemplified, should I say, in that photo there, right? So the ideal masculine frame is with the application of the golden ratio, with the shoulders 1.6 times that of the waist. And here, like in that previous photo, it's clear that Stephen has achieved that, and we have sculpted his physique into divine proportions. That is what the golden ratio is also known. Now, like I mentioned there, we went from struggling with 6 bodyweight reps all the way up to the point that he was able to do weighted pull-ups at 20 kg, which is an impressive feat, and he was able to get that for 3 sets of 8 reps. This is amazing. This is what can be achieved on the Adonis Project for anyone. And with the pull-ups, you're working a large amount of muscles. I think it's hands down the best exercise. I would even choose it over growing your shoulders. The width it gives your back, applying that golden ratio, there's nothing better. But to mention the muscles it hits, which are quite a few with the pull-ups. So the lats, teres major, biceps, you're hitting the rear delts, you're hitting part of your triceps, you're hitting part of your abdominal muscles as well. It's a full body workout, as well as, should I mention, your forearms. So, can you imagine what it would feel like walking around as an Adonis? How empowering that state is, how empowering it is to feel confident in yourself, to feel confident when you're going into the gym, to feel confident with women as well. This is something that Stephen experienced firsthand, and this is the difference that happens. This is literally the difference that can happen when you put the time and the effort and the discipline and the dedication into changing your physique. And that is something that Stephen done. And, he became the man in the process. He became the man, becoming the man, but he became the man. And he was an ideal client. There's no doubt about it. Stephen, he's been an absolutely amazing client. We kept track with each other through WhatsApp, through weekly check-ins. But he's been an amazing client. And, a man that has been disciplined, like I mentioned there, in every single regard that was asked of him, not missing a single session. He was very, very consistent. There was a period, actually, I should mention that, he returned home back to Ireland first stage and he didn't train for the whole week. So we had a rest period in there, which is needed now and then, there's no doubt about it. But he didn't miss a single session, and he was pushing the numbers to develop his physique that displays masculinity and strength. That is what it's all about, and that is something he achieved. One important factor, or one important topic to include there, is that his numbers on a consistent basis did go up over time. So the stronger you get, the better shape you're going to be. And this is the importance of progressive overload and improving your physique. But that is so important, is that if you're looking to progress, what you have to do is start lifting heavier and heavier weights, and increasing your protein intake, or having a set protein intake that matches that. Because that is how you build muscle. It's very, very simple. But overall, we're just adding steed to the collection here. The portfolio is building bit by bit, but these are some of the transformations I've done before with previous clients on the Adonis Project, and we're getting there bit by bit. I will expand this portfolio out as we go along, but if you're interested in joining the Adonis Project, do drop me the word Adonis on Instagram, or even below this post, and I'll reach out to you and we can get the ball moving. But this is what the Adonis Project is all about: raising up, or increasing, or growing, should I say, your testosterone levels, improving how you look physically, creating that desirable physique, and then having a robust confidence in yourself, because that's the most important thing. And raising up your self-esteem, raising up how much you like yourself. So that is what the Adonis Project is all about. If you have liked this video, please drop it a like, leave a comment below, and make sure to follow. And I'll see you on the next one. All the best.